Hey guys, welcome back to Sip, Savor, and Celebrate. I'm Chris.
And I'm Devin, and we have an awesome guest with us.
Yes, I've been looking at his Facebook posts and Instagram posts and just like fanboying out because everything he seems to post is like amazing tequilas. He just got off of an amazing trip down to Jalisco and touring a bunch of the. I'll let you explain that, but
This is CJ
CJ
Agave.
Agave. Please tell
Thanks
us
for
about
inviting me,
you
guys.
and where you're from and all about that.
So I'm in the Kansas City area. I live on the Kansas side. We have been searching, of course, like many good tequilas like you guys, and there's not so much. So I kind of took it under my own to help improve the tequila in the Kansas City market, and it's just spun out of control from there.
We kind of feel you right there because I get all the way up to the state and I'm like, why can't I have Fortaleza? Why do I have to be limited by this little list that Michigan's allowed? And Michigan's a controlled state. So that makes things really difficult for everybody. But I mean, I have been on um, a discovery, a learning, a student, call me whatever, but I'm just trying to learn more about tequila. It just literally, I don't know about you, how it all started, but for me, I remember when we were sitting at a local restaurant, and yes, I already know before I say it, but we had, I saw this pretty blue and white porcelain bottle on top, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's that?" And
And
he's
I
like,
told you it was tequila.
it's Casa Azul. I'm like, ooh, what's that? And he says, it's $40 a shot. And I'm like, I'm already drunk at this point. So I'm like, bring it, And it was super delicious. And I know that it's controversy that it
Yes.
possibly has some additives, but it still tasted good to me. And it blew my mind because everything up until that point was every college student out there like, yeah, let's just shoot them back with some lime and some salt. And that's kind of like, that was my journey into tequila. And now I've got a problem. I've got a little too much money wrapped up in all my tequila. And I don't know if it's that it's just the tequila or it's the hunt for the tequila. Like, you're not supposed to have that. So how can I make sure I get it?
Yeah,
What
I
about you?
enjoy
How
that a
was
lot myself. I mean, everybody can go online and order from Old Town or Sip or something like that. But I do enjoy the hunt a lot.
yeah.
But it got to be a real big struggle. I don't travel a lot to go to other states, but when I do, I mean, I plan my routes around some of the liquor stores that I want to hit on prior research, which is good liquor stores to in such and such an area and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Right.
So
I have
I do that.
yeah.
So but again, I've kind of taken it underneath my own, um, trying to improve both the tequila in Kansas and Missouri. And
Okay.
I have probably gotten 5 brands in here, and I've made a number of connections
Okay.
to try to keep those things coming in. So I'm working with importers, I'm working with brands.
Okay.
It's been a blast.
And that's what we're trying to do. You saw, I don't know if you did or not, get a chance to see our tequila towel from last Sunday
Yeah,
or Sunday before last. And I think the two of them are going to start working with our distributor here in Michigan and hopefully get some tequila towel and Antanasio and a few others here in Michigan. It's been a struggle to get good, not uh, some good additive free brands is what I'm trying
yes,
to do. Today
yes.
we got in front of us, we've got the Nueveuno, and I understand you've got them as well.
I do.
So I think what we should do is give a little taste test and talk in between as well.
Awesome.
These are out of NOM 1426, where they have 6 bottles
They only make
that they do.
6 different tequilas there, which is really neat. Let's just read through how they make it. They use deep well water, fermentation in stainless steel tanks, open air fermentation without fibers. They're using a stainless steel pot. Yes, yes, and I know already. It's distilled twice. They cook it with stone brick ovens. It is certified additive free, organic, and kosher. So it means it's been blessed.
It's kind of unique to have somebody who goes kosher, organic, and additive free.
I've
It's the first
seen
one
this
I've seen
in a
that.
couple places. I've actually seen it on a couple different bottles, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I just thought
One with life, which is one that I know it's an odd name for a tequila, but it is truly a wonderful tequila. A
one with
lady,
life.
yeah, one with life.
Yes,
There you go.
I've just picked them up. We haven't tried them yet. They still got the wrapper on it, but yeah, that's where I was going to say I saw that as well.
The Repo is absolutely amazing.
Oh, I'm so excited to try it then.
Yes, it is truly wonderful. And I got the Anejo earlier this week. It's good. It's
Is
good.
it okay?
Yes.
Well, I mean, on this Nueveuno, let's see.
Yes.
Look at these toppers. They're copper, and they're pretty good. They're lightweight still.
Yes.
It's not as like, when you go to the Agave Real. This
Yes.
one is like, this thing is heavy, solid, and I mean, I love this one with the eagle, and it's hard to see in there, but this is some good tequila. We're gonna put this on camera one of these days, but we haven't yet. I enjoyed. That's another one of those organic ones, just not kosher. Anyways, so what do we get? What do you get on the nose on this?
Minerals, a little bit of citrus.
I get the citrus, but to me, it's very alcohol forward.
Yes, yes, it is
So
one.
when you guys
That's,
first got them, what did you think just as soon as you opened up the bottle? Did you drink it right away?
and I did not have a favorite. I did of the Anejo, as you can see.
But that was, I do
Yeah.
believe, our first one, because I
That
believe
was-
that was the
yes.
one that you're like, hey, should we, try the rest of the line?
Yeah, and I enjoyed this, and so I thought I was hoping that the rest of them would. I didn't enjoy the first out of the bottle, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Cheers. Salud. Salud.
So salute. So that was kind of my first experience. I had gotten them in the mail and ran inside the house and broke them open right away.
Yep.
And to me, this is one that you truly need to let it breathe.
Okay.
I would almost suggest opening it the day before, just a little while, and then recap it, and then let it set. And then it's like all those chemicals and heavy alcohol start to evaporate, and then you really get to taste the anejo or the agave in it and everything else.
So I will admit, from the first time to just now, I think that I think you're right, because the palate is a little bit better than my original memory of this. I remember just thinking, God, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Normally, you probably see us. We do a lot of reviews, and I'm usually the one. I'm like, man, I do like these. This one isn't the best, but it's still really good, And
Right.
I was thinking this was kind of like, I wasn't very happy with this. It wasn't as bad as Terramana. God, oh, that one's just really, 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 really bad. But I think as you're right, I think it's a lot more palatable now.
Yes.
Originally, it was super strong.
And I think from the translation from the nose to the tongue is hugely different because, like I said, it was citrus, but very alcohol forward. On the tongue, you get that alcohol, you get that slight pepper. I would even say that there's, a little bit of an earthy cream to it,
Right.
which is unique as well. But all very great when we're talking about it translating to the palate.
Now, this one gives me more at the moment, at this minute, it's really giving me more of a repo feel to it. You know how, like, to me, a reposado seems to be a little bit more edgier, something that's amazing with a cigar. And, that's just where I'm normally with a repo. But this right now, that's where I'm getting. I kind of get the little bit of the, I mean, I get the pepper. I get I don't get sweet cooked agave, but I
Mm,
get like a
yes,
raw agave almost. Does that make sense? I mean,
yes, makes it. I agree. Tasting the fresh agave down there in all the distilleries that we visited.
which all did you visit? Because I was just, like I said, I was watching in amazement and just jealousy because you're there. We're trying to plan a trip um, to down to Jalisco in November. That's the time we're looking at going, and we want to
Uh,
visit a bunch.
so by luck, we got into Fortaleza, schedule an appointment 1 hour in advance. I wouldn't recommend doing it. I just happen to have a few connections there, so they got me on the books, and we didn't think when we flew into Guadalajara that we would be able to make it from Guadalajara to Tequila in time, but we made killer time. So we started off the first
What
day
that trip
with
is?
Fortaleza,
How long is it from Guadalajara to Tequila?
about 45 minutes if the traffic's good. A couple
Oh,
of
that's
hours
not
if the
bad.
traffic's bad. It's like
Okay.
California. Man,
I know that traffic.
Guadalajara is just like California.
Okay, really?
Except for all the signs are suggested. They don't actually use them. So stop sign
True.
doesn't mean anything.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Next day we went to Atencio. If you
That's how
go,
you're supposed to say it?
yeah,
Atencio?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
I've been saying Atanasio the whole damn
Well,
time.
maybe we're both
I
right.
didn't
I don't
know.
know. So we went there. If you go there, you got to do the full experience. It is one of those things where, you know, you go there to not just drink the tequila, but you learn about the plantations, actually, harvesting the babies from the mother plants and replanting them. And then you get a nice breakfast to go along with it. And
Okay.
it's an amazing experience.
It
Renee
looks really
and
cool.
Chasette, I think is her name. They are most nicest people you'll ever meet. I mean, they
I
were just
saw that
totally.
gentleman. Now, after you started posting that picture, I remember I sent you a message. It's like I just saw you on somebody else's post. Remember that? And
Yes.
then I saw that guy everywhere I turned, and he's on. I also see him on a lot of the posts from everybody else as well, not just the Atanasio, but that's so cool. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, I know that guy.
He is truly a wonderful guy. Wonderful team. I mean, talk about true ambassadors of tequila and everything that goes along with it. They
Okay.
are just amazing people. So friendly. They want you to learn. It's very educational.
And
Um,
that's where I'm at. And I know I said that in the opening, but I truly am. I'm fascinated by everything from the process of how they harvest it to, like some places like Fortaleza will go ahead and take the painstakingly time to take out that bitter part in the middle where other places just chop it in half, throw it in the oven.
every distillery that we visited, I mean, of course, they were preferred brands, additive free brands. They all took that out.
Okay.
And at least of the distilleries that we went and toured and got to see the whole process, they do all take that, step to make sure that they're
I
giving us
just
the
heard what it
absolute
was
best
called the
juice
other day.
ever.
I heard what it was called the other day, and now I can't remember the
Yeah,
name of course.
I remember Pina. That's about all I can get.
Exactly, right. So for our trip to Jalisco in November, because I want to learn Spanish, but I just know it's my mind. I have dyslexia, and it's really hard for me to put a lot of stuff together. But I just bought one of those things that literally I talk into it and it translates for me, or you could talk into it. I just bought one. Okay, it's gonna be here. We'll be fine. And to do it offline, just in case there's no internet service there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about the repo. The only difference, obviously, between the Blanco going into the repo is how it's aged. They use American white oak barrels, and they are used bourbon barrels. Used bourbon barrels.
Okay.
And I smell that. I
Yeah,
smell the
for
bourbon.
sure. You get the pepper of that bourbon.
On the nose,
And I
smell.
don't think it's like super overpowering
Oh no! I apologize.
on the whiskey. Nice, gentle scent.
This is better than it was the first time I opened it. Maybe I was just totally upset about this that it really carried on to the Repo.
Yeah.
I've always liked the Anejo, and our friend, I don't know if you've been watching our channel or not, but our friend Santiago is
The Tequila
getting
Headhunter.
the Tequila Headhunter has the deep coming in. He doesn't have it yet, so we're going to do a comparison between the standard and the deep to see what the difference is. So we're kind of excited about that as well.
Awesome.
What do you get on the nose again?
I get a little bit of the whiskey barrel, a little bit of caramel.
Yes.
From those barrels.
It's actually quite pleasant today.
Yes.
To be honest with you.
It mellows out a lot. And again, I think this is a brand that you need to let the tequila oxidize a little bit.
Okay.
Get some oxygen on it.
Put
Release some of those
make it
chemicals.
a showpiece for
We've got these awesome little tequila glasses. It's not the Denver and Lively. They were out when I tried to order them, but they're back in stock now. But they're still $45 a glass. These on Amazon were $18. So I'm like, for $18, let's give them a shot. Salud, salud.
Oh, see, I love that. Nice and creamy.
It is creamy, but it still has a peppery bite to it.
A little bit, yep.
But I do get the cream right after. So first I get the pepper, then I get a slight cream to it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking Anastasio cream, but I do get a cream after that. Almost a mint mixed with a little.
See,
little whiskey. You don't get
it
that?
must be because I am very big into the whiskey, so I do not get what you're saying. I get the caramel, I get the barrel notes, and just a very small hint of pepper, but I don't get mint. I don't get any of that stuff. So it's kind of interesting that we're down two different paths again.
Yeah, and this is not this. And I'm telling you right now, this is not what I tasted the first time I opened the bottle.
All my posts that I've ever done on this brand.
It isn't as good as some of the ones we tried yesterday, but I'm just saying. But you know what? Not bad. But now let's talk about price, because they were not very cheap, especially here in Michigan.
And I'm going to take a moment while you're looking that up.
Yeah, please do.
Please make sure you subscribe not only to us, but also CJ Agave. Share us with your friends. Make sure you do turn on those notifications. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Right here is where you'll see us first, YouTube. And we hope that you share us so that others can learn or create contact for us to help grow the tequila
community and friendship. And I'm so glad for our friendship online so far, and I'm so awesome to finally talk to you.
And keep in mind, if you want to take your food out with your friends, that's 100% okay too.
You were so yesterday, as the day progressed, when we finally did our last review at the restaurant we had already had a few to drink. So it was quite funny that we were listening to him try to concentrate and make the words out correctly. But it was a lot of fun. Yesterday was a great time. And that was our first experience with Don Fulano yesterday. And I'm a fan now. I am a big fan of Don Fulano. That Repo was so good. That Reposado was really, really good.
But you did lose the battle.
I did lose the battle of which was which. We did, because we thought it was really good, and we thought, well, this would really, that Repo from the Don Fulano we put up against the Fortaleza Winter Blend. And I don't know why, but I thought for sure that I had guessed it right, because we did a blind, one by each other to see who's. And I thought for sure that the first one was definitely Fortaleza, because usually Fortaleza is kind of very fragrant and noticeable.
Yep.
But this time it was the opposite. The Fortaleza was really nice, mellow, and smooth, and so was the Down as far as the
How's
smoothness
that price
goes.
coming?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I got to get to the ends. I'm in the P's right now. I got to go back up. Here we go. Nueveuno. Let's see here. So the first one was Anejo. So here in Michigan, the Anejo is $100. It's $99. The Repo is $69.99, and the Blanco is $52.99 here in Michigan. And it is a lot less money elsewhere. We know that, especially online. But here in Michigan, this is the price. But you can get it in Michigan. That's the good thing. And it is additive free. How about for you? What do you normally see for prices on this?
It's not in the Kansas City area, so you guys got one up on us.
Mm.
I take that back. It's on the Missouri side. Honestly, I don't remember what I saw the price for though.
Okay. We
I
saw
want
it
to
on
say
the shelves there
around
in Chicago.
75, $80.
Okay. Okay. So it's about the same area. Yeah. I was surprised that somebody told me that literally now somebody said get to Kansas City because they've got some amazing deals and options as well. I was like, what? Kansas City? What? Kansas City? No, come on. Are you serious? And yeah.
And I'm just looking at Old Town.
That's where I was referring to is Santiago said.
So shout out to you, the Tequila Headhunter.
So I'm looking on Old Town Tequila. They're at $65.
Okay.
Yep. So I love Old Town, and I've purchased a few things from Old Town. Unfortunately, I've got to go the long route. So the last two things I got from Old Town, I ordered up, and my tequila mule, so like 1 to 2 bottles is all he can do, throwing it in his bag and flying home because he's from Michigan, but he lives in San Diego. So it's like literally down the street from him, and he picks it up for me and brings it home. This last time I ordered a bunch of bottles. I ordered it and sent it to my cousin up in LA. Yeah. However, the shipping for 11 bottles is going to be $82. So from LA to Michigan. So yeah, they're not exactly the most lucrative way to do or easy way to do it, but it's like sometimes it's the only option I've got because they have it and nobody else does. So I'm kind of excited for some of the ones I've got coming in. I actually got the Grand Dynamite coming in. They're just beautiful bottles. I don't know if you've seen them yet or not, but I've got those. I've got the rest of the collection for my my Carrera, and I'm finishing out my collection for. Oh, I'm bringing in because we tried the Alchemy 14 year, which was like, whoa, that stuff was so delicious. And they've got it there, and it's not a bad price for $240. But I didn't buy that because our friends Santiago just let us try it. But I want to try the rest of it. I want to see what the regular. I always like to see what do they start with, and what do they end with, And that's why I like to get the basics first. Show me what you got.
And you can't hide behind a Blanco,
right? Let me see. Do they do anything different on the Anejo? Let's see here. The regular Anejo. Now, these do score, and that's kind of why I bought them as well. They have a high score on Tequila Matchmaker. I mean, the panel on the Anejo is 90. And then the community is at 88, which normally they're backwards. Normally the community is higher than the panel, but this time they did a 90 on this one. Same thing. They must age it a little longer. So same used American oak bourbon barrels.
Now, if I'm reading this right, it looks like they're getting their agaves out of the valley, which is typical that you'll get more citrus.
Okay. You're right. Right there.
Where the highlands, you'll get more floral.
Now, here's interesting as well. Did you notice that they do single estate?
Yes.
All the agave that they harvest, they're getting from one farm, which is kind of cool. And that's kind of so what they call that the terroir, which is the effect that it gets from the ground.
You know what? I just noticed they
Yeah,
didn't note that on the Blanco or the Repo.
they did not. Oh wow. God, this smells so good though.
Yes.
I get all kinds of caramel and baking spices and just sweet. This time I get the sweet agave. As you can see, it's already half gone. I mean, it's one of my favorites. And I'm normally a Blanco guy, but this one is really delicious.
I believe every brand of tequila has one spectacular expression.
I think I agree with you there.
I I am typically a Blanco guy. I do like the Blancos. I like to taste more of the raw product instead of, tasting the barrel and so forth. But like I mentioned earlier, um, I would go to Fortaleza. I really enjoy the Repo. It's just,
Carl is a guy, he's just not. Isn't that
yes,
weird?
got my hands on 2 bottles this weekend.
Did you? Yes, I saw that. I saw what you posted. I'm like, wow, you got some. Yeah, I had
Did it without permission.
What's that?
I did it without the wife's permission.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a big.
You're in the doghouse.
I'm
Kind of big right
in
now.
the dog house right now because like
And you can't
got
even afford the doghouse, so
I know,
you're
right?
like out in the rain.
Yeah, I'm kind of in trouble, but yes. God, that smells so good.
Very caramely and
Salute.
creamy.
Salute.
See, that is so nice. Um, I get I get a slight white pepper. I get the sweet agave. I'm getting a little bit of caramel. The nose, I get more cream on the nose than I do on the palate. That's me. That's what I'm getting.
I'm gonna have to say first of all that to me, there's no comparison. The Repo in this line beats the Anejo
You
hands
like
down.
it? You like that better? Okay.
Like you do get the caramel on the nose and on the palate, but then to me, the Anejo is just alcohol from there. Like you lose everything else. Like that you should have that citrus, that pepper, any chocolate that might be in there. You lose all of that because it's just alcohol.
Let's do the John Watley. We got a trick. And it's just for sometimes whenever you get so much alcohol on one of them that you might think, oh, this is just so alcohol forward. Just take a few drops, not much, just a few drops of water, just and it actually opens it up and blooms it. So when we were at and we've shared this on the last video, but with our other friend, when we were at the distillery for John Watley, and this is more for higher proof ones.
But it works.
But it does work. It's just a few drops, like literally only a couple drops, and then mix it up, and then smell and taste again. You're gonna be surprised. You're really gonna be surprised. I know. It's weird, and I don't normally recommend diluting or anything like that.
But it's just like a whiskey or a bourbon. A lot of people order their whiskey or bourbon with water because it does that. However,
Tell me if it doesn't change
less.
the nose. Tell me it doesn't change.
I get more alcohol on the front end now.
You get more alcohol now. I get a little less. Oh man.
I agree that it does mellow the alcohol down.
I think it takes it out of the tongue, though. I don't taste as much pepper on the tongue.
But I still get the pepper. But I mean, it's almost like it kind of
Yeah,
bloomed up.
yeah, it bloomed out. Yes, I agree.
Isn't that strange? I
Yeah.
mean, I've never heard of this before, but it literally, you even get the pamphlet in the pamphlet in John Watley. They said, if it's a little bit higher of a pepper to you, throw a little bit of water in there and it actually mellows it out, gives it a little bloom. It's kind of nice. I'm not talking drowned it out or nothing like that. I'm just saying just a couple drops. That's all you really need. But it changes that. So you got any plans going back?
Yes. In fact, I was just talking to a neighbor of mine. Come to find out, he grew up 5 kilometers outside of Tequila, and possibly talking about going back in November. So
Okay.
Hey, if you go in November, so we're talking like
9th through the 14th.
the 9th through the 14th is when we're going to be there. So if you just happen to be there, we can definitely high five, okay?
Well, and the logic for choosing that was because we didn't want like Thanksgiving to affect like the experience, whether it be more people or a lot of things closed. I get it's Mexico and they don't celebrate that, but
they
But
have a
a
lot
lot
of
of
other
Americans.
holidays.
Yeah.
And where we got kind of burned is we were down there for their, I think it was Memorial Day, or not
Okay.
Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, through May.
Uh,
Independent.
yeah, May 2nd was a
okay,
holiday
just
for
before
them, and
Cinco de Mayo.
everything shut down.
Yep.
All the distilleries, so we lost a day. So that's the reason why I had to get Fortaleza done that first
Okay.
day, because there were I had appointments everywhere else. So
Okay. Now, did you stay in Tequila or did you stay in Guadalajara?
we stayed in both. So we stayed
Okay.
in Tequila, amazing town, super friendly, nothing to worry about.
Okay. Now,
When we
did you
walked the
stay
streets,
at did you stay at the place with the barrels or did you stay with
no,
like El
um,
Tequileno or?
we stayed at one of the newer, nicer hotels. I forget the name of it right off the
Okay.
top of my head. My wife had found it for us, and it was an amazing place.
Okay. Okay. So
Great
I've been
food,
looking
great restaurant, right across from the main church there in
around. Okay.
town. Just a beautiful little area.
I can't wait to go, to be honest with you. I really, really can't. All
The
right.
tequila sign's right across the street.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right, so you got to tell everybody here because I'm sure everybody's dying to know, how did you get such an amazing mane? Uh,
Years.
that's right, right?
Yes.
Well,
Years. Couple
see,
of years now.
I want you to know we do appreciate you coming on, and I hope that this is not the only time. I hope we can do this again sometime where we can share, each other's expressions at the same time and talk about them. I know you probably you got a lot more than us. I know this, but we have a lot of the same as well.
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you right now, I'm really jealous about that Antanasio Origins that you brought back, the green label.
The high proof.
How is that?
It's amazing.
Oh,
I bought 2 bottles. It's not
did you?
released yet into the United States.
I know, that's why I'm saying it.
I bought 2 bottles. I had both of them autograph one of them.
Okay.
That will be my trophy piece for a while. And then I bought one to drink.
Okay,
It was
better than I thought.
if you go anywhere, I know Fortaleza is one of them. You
Yes,
gotta.
those are my two that I want to go. Fortaleza, Antanasio.
I
want to
highly
go.
recommend Antanasio.
The other two for sure that I'm hoping that I can get into would be San Martinez.
And Anna Marie.
Well, Anna Marie goes from one place to the next place to the next place, so she's not completely at one distillery. But I do also want to go to Siete Leguas. I've heard that's a really good experience too. I don't know. There's a bunch. I would love to go to them all, and then A friend of mine was just also telling me that they're like 3 hours apart from a lot of different ones there.
Yes.
So
Yeah. We stuck to Tequila and toured that area pretty well. Um, one of my probably most desired pieces that I did find down there. Can you excuse me for 2 seconds?
yeah,
Please.
yeah, please, please, please. I told you, I'm jealous. Yeah, I want to go. I can't wait to go.
Well, and we're working on it. We were just talking about it last
I
night.
know, but then that means I have to stop buying tequila for a little bit before. So I can
Oh
afford this.
no.
All right, what'd you get? Oh, yep, yep.
This stuff is amazing.
So now I did enjoy it. I know that you didn't care for it too much, but I did enjoy it. I really did. I thought it was kind of neat, and I love the story about it too. I
Mhm.
happened to watch on Agave. He had an amazing experience. He had actually Tony from there. He was there in his house because he was up there visiting, and he was telling about the story about his dad, just saying like, stop coming to me. I'll tell you when it's ready.
Right.
He's like, we've had it in there a little too long. What you want to start bottling? And it's like, go away. And then he'd come back another year. Well, what do you think? Should we bottle that? Should we bottle that? It's like, would you get the out of my office? His dad would say some really interesting things about, wait, I'll tell you when it's ready. And then again, I love the story about them as well because this family has a way of saying, you to the CRT because I'm going to do it my way. I don't care what rules you have. I'm going to do it my way. And if you don't like it, you can, you know what I mean? And I find that awesome for a family to just kind of like challenge. And that's what's kind of cool too. I do
So
want
that
to
was the biggest distillery that we visited while we were down there.
Okay.
and I've heard that they are one of the bigger, more advanced, but still stick to the traditional way of making.
Yes. Yes. And they do everything in like huge batches. It was
Exactly.
amazing operation.
Yes.
At first I was like, okay, this is giving me mass production. But then the further we got into it, I mean, not only do they use the tradition, but the science behind it.
That's
They
also
actually
what I
have a
heard.
lab on site
Yes,
that
I
they're
heard that.
constantly testing and making sure it matches the batch that came out prior to.
Yes.
Amazing operation.
They do. They really actually have, and I've seen the pictures
Yes.
of the labs on site. I do want to get to El Tecaleno because they have some. I enjoy their expressions. There's only two that we haven't really tried. I've got them behind me, and that's the two smaller. Just their mixto,
Yep.
which is a traditional tequila mixed with a sugar cane alcohol.
Mhm.
And it's supposed to be amazing in margaritas and other things. That's why they call it the mixto. And
But
then
it's still
they're,
good enough to maybe be used as, you're halfway through the night and you want to continue to sip on something
but you don't
that
want to
you'll
waste the money on the expensive stuff.
right. And
Okay.
it is that good.
Okay.
Okay. I've got it, and I want to do we're going to do a review of that. And then I've got the regular repo, just not I've got the other repos, the higher leveled ones,
Hmm.
but I also got the inexpensive repo as well. I know the
And that is
inexpensive
not a mixo.
repo. What's that?
And that is not a mixo. Only
No,
the
it is not.
Blanco.
You
Right.
are correct. However, that's the expression that became the staple, and I'm trying to remember the name of the bar that created the. Oh gosh, what is it? Starts with a B. It's basically Coca-Cola and the Reposado from El Tecaleno. Um, a
Oh,
Batanga, isn't it? I think it's called a Batanga.
my wife was trying to go to the bar that was the place that I guess started all of that, and the place was packed.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's
everybody and their brother was in there. So we ended up finding out that Renee from Antonisio
okay.
has a bar there. And if you want to drink good tequilas,
Uh-huh.
you got to go there.
Okay.
Because most
Yep.
everybody else is selling you, Jose Cuervo or one of their off brands because it's right across the street.
Right.
I know,
So they
but
pretty much own the town.
I know they're huge. I heard it's like going to Disneyland or
Yes.
something like that. I heard it's like an amazing experience to go through the distillery for Don Julio and all that, and or Jose Cuervo is even bigger. It's supposed to
Yes.
be this massive thing, like going to like Disneyland, the last lack of a better word, but that's what that is. Yeah. Okay. So it is called a batanga, and I remember watching the video for it, and it was the gentleman at that bar, and it was they use a pinch of salt, lime juice, the tequila, and then Coca-Cola, and that's a batanga. Now the batanga was named after the glass. So he said in the cute little story I watched, and he's all talking in Spanish, so I'm reading along the subtitles, trying to figure out what he's talking about. He's like, well, he ran out of glasses. His were kind of like mixed matched and broken, and he sent somebody over to the local shop or one of the local straw markets, right, and to pick up some more glasses. And this guy comes back with a batanga is the name of the glass. So, I mean, I love these little stories, just like I said with the El Tecaleno. I love the story behind it. I love that they're like, challenging the CRT at every step. Or when you've got, where is she? Kaye 23. I love her stories. She's like, her whole thing is fermentation is life. That's her motto. Fermentation is life. And I don't know if you've had like the Criollo or not, but
No, that was
all right.
the
You come to
bottle that I was
Michigan.
looking for.
You come to Michigan. I'll share a glass with you, brother. All right. Because
all right. Well,
I know it's been too long.
This is great content, and I hate to be, the moderator here, but we are getting close to our time, and we appreciate you for coming on. This has been a wonderful episode. So we hope to be able to do this again real soon. But remember, when life is short, don't forget to sip, savor, and celebrate.
Salute.
Cheers.
Salute.